Hey guys, welcome. So I know it's been a while since I've streamed, but a lot of things happened over the weekend actually, and then yesterday was just a long day I had to deal with. But we're back, and we are on day 18th of National Novel Writing Month or Camp NaNoWriMo, and we're at close to 36,000 words. And that's the goal for today, the 36,000. Let's see. So since Thursday or Friday when I streamed, it's been like 3 days, give or take. So the story has definitely continued to move forward. So to recap, Lucinda went after Sheriff Whitman and she was captured by the Holy Knights, and she told them of where the nest was. And so the Holy Knights gathered and they made a plan, but only 3 of them decided to go after the nest, and the rest kind of stayed behind to protect the villagers, seeing as like they shouldn't really leave everyone or unprotected. And then Lucinda, she tricked Michael into releasing her, so she left wanting to go hunt Sheriff Whitman because he's still out in the wild. And she did actually confront him, and she was basically going to get rid of him, but Michael intervened. He caught up to her, and actually, Michael was the one that got rid of the sheriff, so it wasn't Lucinda. And a lot more from that. But before we actually get into that, I actually had to skip like a lot of things in between because I just wanted to like get to the exciting part where it was like, yeah, this is more exciting than like everything else and planning. So I do have to go back and add some scenes where the knights prepare, where the knights that went to exterminate the nest are, you know, going through the nest. Kind of reminds me of like a dungeon crawl in like tabletop RPGs, like, Dungeons and Dragons. There's a lot of dungeon crawls there. And so I was thinking like I can get inspiration from that, where, I think it's Gabriel, Maynard, and Joseph going after the nest. And so I decided that I have a scene with them where they're traversing through the tunnels and the nest and dealing with the vampires. And then, we kind of switch point of view to like Michael and Lucinda and what they're doing and have it back and forth. And then it's like, not only does it add to the word count, which is great, but is also, I feel like there's more story. It doesn't just cut to the chase. And I feel like that's what I've done a lot when I was writing. I just cut to the chase. I was like, okay, so this is the most important thing that happened, so I wrote it. But like everything else that built up to that moment, I don't think is very good. And so once we finish the actual main plot, I will go back and add more things like, hey, they came into this church, but we don't know what it looks like or who's there and the people, like, the minor things that make it important. We don't know anything about that. It just, doesn't really, I didn't do a good job at describing that. And then, of course, there's the Mayor Asher's family that I didn't really get into, and I want to kind of explore that because it seems like Mayor Asher's not as innocent as, people might think. And I want to kind of play with the idea of like, well, what about his family? Did his family know that he was in cahoots or betraying humanity or whatever, right? So there's a lot to explore, a lot of characters to really dive into, and I didn't really take that chance. So even if like the story, quote unquote, it's completed, there's a lot of, there's still plenty of time to go back and add more. Because I think we might be able to hit 40,000 less. I'm thinking 38,000, give or take. Maybe 38,000 would be like completing the whole novel, but that's not the 60,000 that I wanted to write. So I think by maybe tomorrow we can actually like finish the main story, but then we still have all the other side content to get through. So I will be going through the document and just figuring out what exactly what else I can add to it. At least that's the plan. I did mention before that I had started going through the document and making note of what I had to, what I needed to add, excuse me. And I've done that. I just haven't finished it all together. But it's a start. And it might be the streams get longer because of it. But I do start work next month, or maybe by the end I have training to do. So, it really depends. I think streams might be sporadic, but I still hope to complete 60,000 words this month. And then maybe, we can just add more stuff during the rewrite, because this is just like the rough draft. Even though I wrote the novel or the novella before, it's still technically a rough draft because it's not that great. And I want to make it better, so I think it's better if I add all the information that I can first and then go back and see what else I can, do better. But it's better to work with something than with nothing. I think also I might have to like draw out the layout of the actual cave, because I don't think I have. So I hadn't really planned for them to go or like go into too much detail the first time, but I think it's better if I did. So for right now though, like it started off with like the cave entrance, and then like it kind of leads into this like long tunnel before there's like a fork in the road. And like any dungeon crawl, you should never split the party, but they are going to split the party because they only have 3 people. I think I might also have to include like, hey, when you're done dealing with Lucinda, or like Gabriel told Michael, when you're done with Lucinda, come join us. So I think I might have it where like they're waiting for reinforcements that will come, but not quickly enough. So I'm thinking, maybe Maynard and Joseph go to the right, and then Gabriel goes to the left, and then kind of opens up into a wide area. So we're gonna follow Maynard and Joseph for a while, but before, Joseph took a while after he was scouting the area, so he got attacked, and I want to say that he was technically like poisoned or like controlled. And I'm gonna have Joseph attack Maynard. Yeah, okay, that's me like planning what I'm gonna write next, because sometimes you have to like talk it out. And so they have to walk far enough where Gabriel's not gonna double back. So I think Joseph has Maynard like set a trap, like a bear trap. So that way, if it's an escape route, the vampires will get trapped. So Joseph has Maynard do that, and he's basically biding time for Gabriel to keep making it down his own tunnel. Yeah, because when Michael arrives, everything that happened, something happened to them. Which, so Michael won't know. I think Gabriel path might have been broken. You know what? It kind of goes into roundabout way. Like that. that's like a dead end. Okay. I think Gabriel will like keep track of it. So for now, let's follow. We're gonna have them separate the party. Which, as a dungeon master and as a player, you never really want your party to get separated. Alright, so we kind of drew out the dungeon here. It might change, I don't know. Okay, but I'll use that as a reference. Not the greatest, but okay. Because they were prepared. If they have like a lot more time to prepare, like 3 can take on a nest. It's just they don't really have the time, or they do, but it's almost dawn. So time is on their side, but they're gonna underestimate the amount of enemies in the nest. All right, so what now? Maynard asked. We'll split the group. Gabriel said, I will go left and the 2 of you will go right. You sure that's a good idea? This is Joseph. What if you get attacked? Well, then it's a tunnel, so they won't really be able to like use their large swords. Well, then again, they're pretty tall, and the vampires aren't really gonna crawl a lot. Okay, so what if you get attacked? Let's see. I have means of taking care of them, Gabriel assured him. Oops. You 2 can lay traps on the other tunnel. I'll do the same with mine. If we have to retreat, we'll slow them down. Okay, sounds good to me, Maynard said. Well, I'm kind of like, because they're hunting vampires, I feel like the way they do it has kind of evolved. It's kind of like the movie Van Helsing with like Kate Beckinsale, and then Hugh Jackman. Like they had like not sophisticated science, but they had stuff, you know, that they used, that they invented, and that's how I'm kind of going for here. But at the same time, I may not have used a lot of that knowledge or even mention it throughout the story. So it's I feel like it's definitely something that I have to go back and do it. Now, I also do really enjoy that movie. Like, maybe some people don't, but I really like the werewolves that they did. I thought it was pretty cool. But no, I do like that movie. I've watched it so many times. But anyways, on that note, that's technically how I'm trying to do it. So I kind of want the knights to kind of plant like a holy grenade with like water and like other bits in there that explode. That way the nest comes crumbling and You know, like, yeah, you may be immortal, but if you have like tons of rocks crushing everything, like, you might not survive, you know? Cause I had it where they did, I think they're called pitons, like climbing gear. Like you put them into the rock, and they're silver, and it's not only meant to hinder them, but I think I'm gonna have it where they're winding up like a rope that's having like these grenades hanging on the wall. But it's a lot of work. Um, so I'll have that too. Okay. Like I'm trying to make it plausible. Like they know they can't just go in there rushing. That they have to take their time. When Joseph finished, he uncoiled strip of rope and attached it to the pitons. On this rope, circular bottles of holy water and explosive powder hung between the pitons. All they had to do was light a fuse, and the rest would do the work. Okay, so it explains that they did booby trap the entrance. And so even if it's not like a huge rope, like, you know, it's enough to take out a few rocks, you know, and all that stuff. Without another word, Gabriel moved to the left. Maynard watched the holy night until his torchlight was too far away to see. I can lay down the traps, Maynard said. Yeah. Watch my back. And then we have the two of them. I think I'll put set to Joseph just so we know. No. Maynard and Joseph. There we go. That way we know they're both of them. The two of them continued to the right. They walked down a small tunnel before the area opened up. They tossed the torches as far as they could. Sparks the lights illuminated the area. Hang on. Joseph raised his hand, stopping Maynard from proceeding. The Holy Knight threw his torch as far as he could see. And these are special torches, as said. So they're not really gonna go out. As far as he could see. As far as he could, basically. Maybe they have like, I don't know. Yeah, I think the torch would be the only thing they could use. The light illuminated about like 30 feet, 20. He expected enemies to come crawling out or even run away, but nothing stirred. But with this, Maynard Joseph walked in and sheathing his sword. Still nothing stirred. Start setting up the traps, he told Maynard. It seems the vampires got too complacent in their victory. Okay, Maynard dug into his bag and started to set up traps. He laid them at random intervals by the openings the openings of the tunnel. Joseph stood guard on the other end. He picked up his torch. I'll proceed further ahead, he told Maynard. It's better to have a clear picture of how many traps we're going to need. Maynard looked up from the trap. Before he could disagree with that plan, the Holy Night was no longer in sight. So he further, Joseph just left. Okay. So I had said that Joseph was gonna do something, but I don't know, like I've done it, but it's like, sometimes when I plan something out, it doesn't really do it the way I want it to. Okay. I think we'll just go with that and then have Maynard just get attacked on his own. I think maybe that not that it'd be better, but I think that would be the way to go. Okay, so he looked around the it wasn't the passageway. It's not even a cavern, really. Like it's like a full cave, but I feel like there's openings. Corridor, maybe? I think that's just... Yeah, I think it's it's probably a cave, like the small area. It's like a room. The cave room? Maybe? Well, it was close to the entrance. He couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't alone. And yet, Joseph hadn't mentioned anything about enemies. He knew Holy Knights were able to sense all manner of beings. Joseph wouldn't have left without sharing that kind of information. But at the same time, though, you know, Joseph took a little longer to get back. Maynard shook his head. It was just Minar shook his head. It was no use having such thoughts. The holy nights were the pinnacle of faith. They wouldn't betray humanity. Maynard finished setting the last of the traps and stood. He wiped sweat from his eyes. Picking up his torch and bag, he made it to the end of the cave room. There was no sign of Joseph. Alright, let's see. So I put that in like brackets, like soldiers investigate the cave, so I know like where the scene went. But let me see. I might have to switch. I think that was 6. I messed up counting. They usually have like 7 pages, like a good amount. Or okay, so it's like 7. Okay, so it's not bad. The soldier glanced back the way they came. Sir Michael was said to arrive after he'd taken care of the vampire. He wouldn't be too far along. Maynard hesitated. Sir Gabriel. Or he's. Hang on, let's put Sir Joseph because it's basically Maynard's thoughts, and he does have respect for the Holy Knights. Had already gone on his own path. Maynard couldn't waste any more time. Taking a deep breath, he walked out of the cave room. I think it's called the tunnel. It's like a tunnel, but I don't want to use tunnel all the time. The corridor? Yeah, we can call it the corridor. I think cavern is like a huge opening. There has to be some water nearby. Ah, the chamber is like a room. Because they do need some water. So we'll mention that, I think, on Gabriel's side. So it will be the corridor didn't leave much room to move. He held the torch up as high as he could. But then again, the vampires could have like dug this out. It's not like they couldn't. Or they could have just taken over like a natural cave, but they could have made one too. It's not like it needs water. But there is a river nearby. That's gonna be tough. But I guess don't really think too much about it. As he moved, his racer caught on a rock. He winced at the pain. Like, he's like brushing it against the rock. Like, it's not too much of a tight fit, but it's like, it's a little, he's like a grown man, so you know, it's not, he has to like kind of move from side, like he can't move that well. Like one shoulder is facing one end and the other shoulder is facing the other. He almost has to press himself against the walls. I guess the only way he could move was by pressing himself against the wall. How had their Joseph moved so easily? Maynard hadn't heard his armor scrape against the rocks. But now wasn't the time to think about that. And his foolishness, his fingers weakened and the torch tumbled to the floor. Yeah, like he just, I guess is like the shock kind of weakened. No. Not his foolishness. Let's just put his fingers weakened and the torch tumbled to the floor. It's a ground because it's not a floor. That that's when he heard them. The small like claws clicking across stone. And move quickly. All around him. Maynard looked up and saw the many pair of red eyes getting closer and closer. Alright, so Maynard is trapped. The enemy has moved. He's right here. Joseph is somewhere. And then we're gonna move on to Gabriel. So what do we have here? Alright, so in this chapter, chapter 18, we'll add Gabriel. I think Joseph is going to double back yeah, he'll double back to where Gabriel is. And attack Gabriel, I think. And then Gabriel will get rid of Joseph. But then Gabriel becomes weak. Okay, yeah. Because it doesn't have to have, like, you know, the cave system could have just many different openings. It's not conventional. Gabriel focused on his senses, trying to locate any signs of vampires. But unlike before, there was a heavy curtain preventing him from pinpointing anything. Okay. So we do have, yeah, I think that's because I was going through what I wrote, and at the end, you know, I had Gabriel doing stuff, and then Maynard found, but I was like, dang, what happened to Joseph? And this will be a good opportunity to kind of, you know, get rid of that. So there'll be kind of more of a fight. Because with Lucinda, they should be able, I think there's gonna be a third path, but it's hidden. It's like an illusion, but not like with magic, with like a stone is right at the center, but you know, there's like a drop at that wall, and it basically bypasses all the other chambers, leading them to like the main room. So they can still get out regardless. So there's like different paths that the vampires can take, where intruders, you know, will take the conventional route. But they're all like lead to dead ends. The true path is much deeper. Okay, so now that we decided that, though, it makes it a lot easier. Because I was like, man, Lucinda reaches the nest again rather quickly, and I'm like, how do I explain that? Well, we just explained it. So even if it's like, huh, that's easy. Well, is it? Probably not. Oh, before that. No. What? Wait, why? There we go. There we go. Okay, I was just trying to format it correctly, but it didn't seem like it was working that much. Yeah, because I already like have everything else that I need for now. I just have to write the ending and then go back and add more things. So, but with Gabriel, he can't really sense anything because the vampire they're facing is a lot stronger than he than initially thought. But she's also weaker because she made so many new vampires that it kind of leaves her very, very weak. That's why she kind of like recalled all the vampires to the nest to like protect her. But at the same time, that's, you know, a good opportunity to take care of all of them, right? Even now, vampire residue lingered in the air. But that's all he could sense. As he continued down the corridor, it split again. He let's see. He reached into his bag and gathered a few caltrops on the ground, gathered the remaining. Let's see, marking the path. He went to the right once more and it opened once again. No, it opened to the right. Gabriel followed it, but it ended in a dead end. Retracing his steps, he continued to the right. A few steps later, there was another tunnel, another corridor that opened on his left. This time, however, he if he retraces steps, he'll move to the left. He moved to the right and stopped as he saw his caltrops. So that means he basically went in a circle, but he did see that the other path opened up. Yeah, the whole like he left and then right, it's gonna be a little confusing. I might have to explain it a little better, but for now, you know, it'll be fine for now. Make it clear, once like the rewrite happens. So let's just have that there. Alright, so he moved to turn back and follow the new corridor when he felt the air change. Shift? I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna be believable, but I'm gonna have it where Joseph like attacks him with a crossbow. But he should have heard it, I think. But if it's a hand crossbow, it might not be very powerful. How about he traced his steps to follow the new corridor. As he reached the passage, he heard the familiar sound of a crossbow shooting. He turned quickly and saw the dart heading his way. He didn't. Gabriel moved to the side. The dart wounding his cheek. Joseph, Gabriel shouted, throwing the torch to the ground, throwing the torch between the two. What are you doing? Where is Maynard? Yeah, okay. Joseph came into the light, but something was wrong. His steps were unbalanced, and he swayed as he approached. Gabriel didn't sense the corruption until Joseph rushed at him. I guess shooting, well, let's see, hand crossbows or light crossbows. Maybe it's a hand crossbow. We can put like it's on a spring, so it's only like 3. The remaining 2 darts at him. Gabriel deflected the projectiles with his sword. Only barely managed to roll out of the way as Joseph flipped at him with daggers. There we go. Now they're gonna fight. What happened? Gabriel asked. Why are you doing this? Have you gone mad? Joseph chuckled. His I guess the pupil would be red? No. No, it would be... Oh, it's okay. That's not how that's gonna work. Probably red. Blood had flooded his eyes. Me? Joseph asked. I'm here to take you before the mother. We're gonna call her different things. You've been tainted, Gabriel realized. Yeah, like duh, right? But still. How did this happen? You're a holy knight. Okay, so I don't think I need to have them fight. Just as, I mean, like, describe the whole thing. If they start fighting, I don't think I have to finish the fight. Maybe I can just leave it to like speculation of what happened. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe I do need to. I don't know. I have to think about it. Yeah, I need to think about it. What would be like the best course of action? Because I don't want to have it like a cop out. Like they're fighting and they're like, haha, but you don't know what happened. And then it's like, oh, that's it. It finished. Like, what? You know? So it's like, I don't know. We'll have them fight for sure. What does that even mean? Joseph asked. We're tools for the Dawn Church. We're dogs that only do as they're commanded. It is an honor to fight for the church. For you, Joseph said, but I no longer care to be someone hunting dog. There we go. Okay, so on that note, let's take a look. We are at 36,000 words. So, as I said, it was another short stream. But that's fine. I mean, we're good. Like, so now we reached the 36,000. You know, Joseph is basically, he's not being turned. But Gabriel will realize this after stuff happens, but he's not. He's being basically controlled or like influenced. A lot of vampires prey on fears and desires, so that's like one of the things there. So I just have to decide, like, if they'll just finish the fight right here and then. Because I don't know. We'll see. I need to plan some stuff, but let me go ahead and update the website. We are at 57%. Out of the 60,000 words. So it's actually we're doing good. But I think there's a lot. There's a lot to change. It's 36. Yeah. Alright, so now we are at 60%, so we need 40. I also I'm looking at the, what's it called? The bar graph, and technically, tomorrow we should have hit 36,000 words, but we hit it like a day early. So technically, I could just take one day off, because we'll be finishing maybe by July 30th and not 31st. So I might not have, maybe I'll take a break. But I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll decide. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me today. It was another short stream. I've been writing in the mornings. But now I think once we're finished with the actual story part, it won't be too bad with just going back and adding more things, as I mentioned. But there's there's still a lot more left. I think I just have to go back and keep planning as well. So on that note, tomorrow is what, Wednesday? I should be able to stream, but I do have errands to run before or maybe after. Might be a little earlier, or maybe I'll just post a video of my progress. I'm not really sure about that, but I do appreciate everyone joining. Thank you so much, and I hope to catch you guys later. Bye.